In the approach road on the south side, waiting vehicles of all descriptions are directed onto the link spans to the ferry's loading pontoons. From there they are directed to parking spots on the ferry's upper vehicle deck. A river police launch passes. Pedestrian walkways were outboard of the vehicle spans. As it floated, the pontoon rose and fell with the tide. An empty collier of the special type built to pass under London's bridges passes downriver from a power station. Once loaded, the skipper returns to the bridge. Passenger gangways are lifted and moorings released. The engine room telegraph signals full ahead. Below, the engineer responds. For the best manoeuvrability, the paddle wheels of these ferries were each driven by separate low-pressure steam engines. Ordinary paddle steamers had both paddles on the same drive shaft. Another flat iron passes downriver. The masts could be lowered for London's bridges. The Soviet ship Lena passes upriver with a cargo of timber for Surrey docks. She'd be from one of what are now the Baltic states. Beyond is the funnel of a ship in one of the Royal group of docks. The ladder up to the vehicle deck was intended for crew use only. Crew washing up water is disposed of. In summer, riding the ferry was a popular day out. Back in 1961, most rivers suffered from detergent foam before low-foaming detergents were introduced. There were 4 of these ferries built on the Isle of Wight in the late 1920s and early 30s. Up to 3 ran the service, while the 4th was on the north side repair grid. At North Woolwich, passengers came ashore just across the road from the terminus of 2 bus routes. The 4 ferries were named Gordon, Squires, John Benn and Will Crooks. Steam was produced from boilers fired by coke, a byproduct of a nearby gasworks. Coke was delivered in the same way as to houses. The engine room was surrounded by open windows from the passenger saloon. Watching the engines and the engineers was a popular pastime during crossings. Alan thinks this is the Royal Daffodil River cruise ship on her way to Southend. While tied to the pontoon, engines would slowly turn the outside paddle wheel to counter the tidal flow, so reducing the strain on the mooring lines. These steam ferries were replaced by diesel ones around 1963. Vehicles now drive straight on, eliminating all that time-consuming manoeuvring. So the old pontoons and approach spans have been entirely replaced.